Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dropped Frames. What episode are we on?
15 to 33.
15 to 33? 23.
Yep.
33.
33.
33. Okay, good.
Yeah, 32 was last week.
Glad. Okay, glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I'm just going to put this up on the screen and we could just start the show. Let's just jump into it right here.
Yep.
I've watched it 2.5 times is what I told Zeke. Zeke's watched it twice. You went to go get pizza. How many watches did you get in?
I caught it right before I left.
Okay. All right. We won't have audio for this. I mean, I guess I could pipe audio in, but go watch the trailer if you haven't seen it yet. We'll leave it on in the background while we discuss it. I joined your stream earlier when you were playing Void Bastards, and you said that you were, I don't remember the exact words, but you weren't necessarily fully in to the game prior to this trailer.
No. The thing that I was worried about with Death Stranding was, from everything we've seen about it so far, there wasn't a lot of like real world connectivity. We hadn't seen any kind of like backbone for a story. It had been very kind of like artsy, very exposition-y, but not with a lot of like actual content. I was very worried that we were going to get a game that was very light on gameplay and not very light and very heavy on just kind of like camera shots and, things that were never really explained. But then after the trailer, I can safely say that almost all of that evaporated. The trailer showed, honestly, a lot more than I thought. We saw gameplay, we saw melee combat, we saw guns, we saw a lot of characters. The characters started talking in ways that actually made sense instead of just like,
Babble.
just babble, essentially. We got some backbone material. We got some ideas on what the game's actually going to be like. We actually saw like some item use in the world. Basically, all of the things that I wanted to see about this game were essentially in this trailer. The only thing that I'd love to see at this point is like more of the gameplay mechanics. So I'd love to see more UIs. I'd love to see like, okay, now that we have this idea, and Kojima tweeted about this, a big premise of this game is that you're linking together settlements. You're taking the strands and you're creating those between this world that's been fractured. What does that mean to a gamer? Does that mean I'm actually going to be building settlements and connecting them together, or is that just some kind of like airy thing of a direction of the game? Like I want to know. I want to know what the black and white is instead of the kind of gray that Kojima is painting.
Right.
So, I gotta say, man, super happy with the trailer.
Yeah.
You see, I think or in my opinion, this was all I needed. Like, I was scared and well, not scared is not the right word, but I was a little apprehensive about the game because I thought it might just be weird for the sake of being weird.
Yes.
That was
like it was gonna be like, for lack of a better term, it was gonna be too artsy fartsy and not like enough substance or a through line, to use the theater vernacular.
I just
to go
played a
all the way
game, which is exactly what you're saying right now, by the way.
Oh, you did? Okay. Oh, was that the game that JP just mentioned?
No, Layers of Fear 2, but we'll talk about it later.
There's Layers of Fear 2, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
It's
we'll
kinda
talk about that. I'm excited to talk about that.
We need to jump on that. Yeah.
But after watching the trailer, because I woke up and watched I watched it live once, and I actually, fortunately enough, caught like the last time they showed it before they went offline.
Yeah.
And then I went back to the VOD and watched it one more time, and I don't need any more like from this game. I don't need to see any more. Like, I am absolutely sold on it now. Like, I was one of the, like, I always poo-pooed it. I wanted to shit on it.
Yeah.
Because all the trailers that we've seen so far are just this like little tiny tidbits. It's like, this is the script for the trailer. Word, verb, adjective. Death Stranding. And like, oh, come on. Yeah. That's it. That's all it gets. It's like, oh man, I hope this is a flop. But what I've seen so far, like, there's definitely parts of the trailer where I was like, yay.
Yeah.
Like the gamer, like nerd inside me, like wanted to burst out and get all giddy and like, yee, this is great. And the like all the mocap face stuff
It looks
was really
really
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about it before we started, but I think we're both huge fans. Like, Code, did you ever watch Hannibal with Mads on the TV show? You might watch that show before this comes out, just so you're a fan of Mads Mikkelsen. I think is how you say it. He's good. He's really good, and he carries the show almost. And yeah, came through.
JP and I were talking before about like the first time I remember watching him, and what I like solidified in my mind was Casino Royale.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And we talked about how the poker scene was so good in that. So yeah, and then to see him like specifically, I mean, almost any scene that he's in this trailer, he's kind of stealing the show. But specifically the trailer or the part of the trailer at the end where he's talking to the baby, whoever the fuck that is. His facial animations and everything were like really on point. It was really good Mads Mikkelsen acting that I've come to, or that we've come to see from him and his other work. So cannot wait to see more.
Our boy Troy B kicking ass in there.
Yep.
Our Troy Baker's in there, and he's affecting sort of a southerny accent.
You know, his character's name is Higgs, which was my character from Swan Song, who was also a Southern boy. I fucking knew it.
I knew.
So I'm just saying, I think Hideo Kojima watches the roleplay. You know, he's a fan. That's my personal headcanon. And I'm just going to live my life like that moving forward. So
now we don't know like exactly when in time this takes place. So do you think this is like his great grandfather or something like that?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I think let's talk about that for a second. The whole timey-wimey thing. They go to they mention the word Hades. I don't know if it's necessarily him going back in time or if it's him going to another thing. But at the end, he's talking to that baby, and he's saying like, "I'll show you the world, even the moon." I kind of feel like Mads, which is why he's able to do this, created like some sort of alternate reality or some sort of like VR reality or some shit, and the babies are how you get in there and connect into that world or some. I don't fucking know.
Dude,
I'm grasping at straws here, but what's your theory? That's my theory.
Okay, so my theory is that whatever the demons are, the black demon things, can somehow draw on either people that have died or events that have taken place in the past. And that's why at one point you see him walking through like near an early World War tank. Like he's hiding behind one as it's going by. Also, we see them coalesce out of the ether at one point. They just kind of form with this orange, like pixelated substance.
Yep.
I am pretty sure that these demon things may choose specific dead people to then become their emissaries. And I think Mads is one of those people, and he controls whatever those demons do, and that he with them are trying to go around and destroy things. And then you have the cult that kind of worships them, kind of like the Rippers did in Days Gone the Zombies. And I think those are the evil humans, and they may even share some of their powers somehow, because we see one of them warping around like the demons do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have an idea that it's related. Apparently some kind of demons come to Earth. They absorb people somehow, and then they can bring them back for their own stuff.
Right.
They can bring them back somehow for their own means.
I don't.
Also, I like the idea that they call it Hades, because that would kind of represent an underworld theme where people go when they're dead. Right. That is Hades. So the like right there, you can see like those are soldiers fighting a war that is not going on. So for some, maybe these areas are like super saturated with the demon energy or whatever, and they're just like in an endless war that keeps coming back and forth. But all I know is whatever it is, it's going to be awesome because it's Kojima, and there's so much stuff in this trailer that gives so many little.
I hate it when people say that. It's like, I know it's going to be awesome because it's, blank person involved. I'm just like, man, can we?
You don't like the blind faith of
to be fair, creators? I can say that about like the amount of people I can count on one hand. Like I will say that as somebody who doesn't say that often, Kojima is one of the few that I think, even if it's weird, even if it's messed up, I still think there will be a lot of thought in it, and I think that it will be interesting. It may not be great, it may not be my favorite thing, but I can count on it being deep, well thought out, and probably something I haven't thought about before.
I'm like I had to stop and go like, is there someone that I would say never disappoint? Like every time they do something, it's something that I enjoy, and it only took me like a split second. I was like, oh, yeah, Christopher Walken. Like everything he's and he just fucking, even if it's bad, I still love him. He's fucking entertaining as fuck no matter what.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even think
Those
like,
people exist.
the
Those
Walken
creators
angle.
By the way-
exist for sure.
Real quick, someone brought up in chat, well then why did it take the trailer to get sold? And the reason is because I knew the game was going to be something like everything I just said. I knew that was going to be the game regardless, even if it was a walking simulator. The thing the trailer sold me on was that this is a game that I want to play. It showed gameplay elements. It showed progression. It showed problem solving over terrain. It showed combat. Like I didn't know most of that, like in that degree, I didn't know that stuff was going to be in the game like that. So the trailer is what sold me on, I want to play this. But I always knew the game in general was going to be something, like I said, it was probably going to be interesting. It was probably going to be weird. It was probably going to be really deep. Like that was all kind of a given the second Kojima said he was working on it.
Right.
So hope that clears that up.
Yeah.
Oh, and also the way they pronounced Death Stranding was with the accent on the Stranding.
What do you mean?
Kind of like it's kind of sunk into my head as being something that that the Stranding is describing the death instead of the other way around. It's not Death Stranding, it's Death Stranding.
Sure.
Like
okay.
the Death Stranding.
Well,
Like,
what's actually
that, like, I don't know if it did that for anybody else, but because they pronounced it in the trailer, and I went, "Oh shit!" That totally like conjures up a different image to me.
Well, here's something that's interesting to add to that. Kojima actually tweeted out a picture
Yes.
afterward, and he said that a big part of this game and the stranding element was the strands that connect people, events, and locations.
Yep.
So that kind of adds this other perspective on it, because then it says, okay, well, there's Death Stranding, which is the definition we know of today, when whales beach themselves and things like that. That's the common Death Stranding. Then when you have him focus on the stranding element of connectivity, that kind of throws that on its head, because then you have like death with the focus on connectivity. So it's like, what exactly, if in his mind, stranding is the interconnectedness of everything, then what is the purpose of death in front of it? And I find that part pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is right here.
And yeah, it's. I didn't think that I didn't hear the word stranding as something like an action verb. It was something that was done, not something that you are doing. So I'm thinking like death, like you're creating strands.
Gotcha. Yeah.
From death to death, from place to place, from Hades, like places in Hades or whatever. And the stranding is what you're actually doing.
Sure.
Sorry, that was a little bit unclear when I was talking before, but yeah, it's an action.
Second part made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. This I feel like this statement right here was more of a giveaway to what this game's actually about than the trailer was. Like the trailer was an artistic representation of what he said in this tweet. And so if you haven't seen this, definitely read through it, because it's telling. And there's a lot of things that are in quotes. I also, some of this stuff is kind of like on the nose. Like the main character is Sam Porter Bridges, who will attempt to bridge these divisions. Like,
Boo!
like that's kind
I don't
of
like that.
That's kind of a little
Lost in translation.
Yeah. And in doing so, would create new bonds or, quote, strands with other players around the globe. So he gets to that point, and I didn't have this worry when watching, at least not immediately, but I really hope, I was telling Zeke this before, I really hope that it's not a Metal Gear Solid 5 situation where it's like 85% or 90% gameplay with a couple of like little cutscenes sprinkled in. I hope it's more linear. I hope it's more structured, and I hope there's a lot of like cutscenes and stuff in the actual game rather than just a shit ton of gameplay and then a little cutscene. Then a shit ton of gameplay.
Man,
a little cutscene.
there were definitely parts of that trailer that made me think that there was going to be semi or fully open world components to this game.
Right. That's a little worrying to me. That's
like especially the parts where they were showing the tool usage.
Yeah.
like the rappelling and the ladder. Like he was in the middle of nowhere, going nowhere.
Yeah.
So, like when he put that ladder on the rock, I was like, "Cool, you made it to another like rock."
Right. And I mean, he's doing some traveling like up a mountain and the snow,
Yeah,
and it's kind of like barren. Like there's not much around. So I hope that there's stuff to do, and two, I hope that it's not like an always online game or a game that or a game that is better with online play, so that the other people playing in there and like running around with you. I don't want to see other players in this.
They haven't told you the second part of the title yet. Death Stranding, a Kojima live service experience.
Yeah. Please no more please no games and services, please. No, Kojima, don't do it. Also, this scene right here made me laugh. I was just laughing this entire time. It's like Epic Games.
Oh, I know, right?
Epic Game Studios trying to capture a Steam exclusive or something here. Just running around. Then he's beating him up and the community's all pissed off and he gets his goddamn lunchbox and hits him with it's great. It's good stuff. And then, of course, they give him a bike because Norman Reedus is like, dude, Hideo, I need a bike. Like, I'm fucking Norman Reedus. Have you not seen The Walking Dead? That's all I do is ride a bicycle. Give me one. Or, I mean, a motorbike. Give me one. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then they gave him the bike from Tron, and I was like, yeah!
Yeah, it's the best bike. That's potentially the best bike, you know?
On bike,
yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah. And then this whole baby stuff was a little bit explained. I mean, not really explained, but they have a name now. The Bridge Babies, the BBs.
Yeah,
that's a thing. So they're somehow tied to whatever this shit is right here, where he can see the demons, I guess is what you would call this stuff.
I've been calling them demons, but whatever they are. I think at one point they referenced them as PTs.
Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, BTs.
BT. Yeah.
And I don't know what that. They never actually.
Bitch titties.
There you go.
Bacon tomato, no lettuce.
I like Bridge Terrors. That's kind of an interesting name.
Bridge Terrors.
Sounds good. Yeah. Huh.
Bong tokes. Oh well, I mean, you got to wonder how he came up with it. That would make sense.
It's true.
Yeah.
Also,
Bridge Trolls. I like that. Bridge Trolls.
Creepy thing right here.
That actually fits.
Yeah. So, do you think we'll get any other trailers, or do you think this is it till the release date? By the way, we got a release date November 8th, in case you haven't seen the trailer.
This was a lot more than I was expecting. I thought, just like Zeke said, I thought we were going to get like another artsy fartsy trailer, some more people saying cryptic things that make no sense. Like this trailer was a lot more concrete than I was expecting. A lot more substantive. Definitely the most we've ever gotten from Death Stranding is this trailer, like by far, by a factor of 10. So yeah. And also, by the way, I don't know if people caught this at the end, that weird ass baby there.
Yeah.
At the end where the living baby was in the last trailer.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, what does that possibly mean? Like, oh man. So many things.
Yeah.
So many things.
And that lady in red, she's like the ghost in the machine or something like that. She's like,
I think that's Norman Reedus' wife. Because I think he's burning he's burning his wife's body. That scene where he's burning the little like body bag. I think that's his wife.
Okay.
Because or maybe it's the president. There was a trailer that came out last E3 or maybe the E3 before that, where he's talking
Dead Man,
to
Heartman, Hardman. It's fucking Mega Man. They're making it. This is the new Mega Man.
There you go. It's the new Mega Man game. I think it was last year's E3 or maybe the E3 before. Didn't he have the trailer where he was just talking to that the woman with the short hair? Yeah, and also why is he blue here? What is this? He's like he's a gray. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, this is interesting because the fact that he's lost his color, I wonder if that means like
he's about to kill himself.
Taken over. And also if you look at the ground, it's that same dark color that earlier we see the PTs absorb him and all of a sudden the ground starts getting that really dark color. It's that same thing.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's like maybe a death scene or like you've lost the game. Here's your little thing, you know?
I think it's a reset. Like that's his way out of Hades or something like that. Maybe
he's resetting. Yeah, I could see that.
Could be.
That's why I think it's somewhat of like
I was
a VR
surprised
or something.
To see the America reference. Like apparently this is Earth. Like this is a real world game. I thought they were just going to go crazy with it.
Yeah.
Although we did see some hints with that with the other trailers. But like to have an American president referenced and all, like maybe they're going to be a little bit more concrete than we thought they were with this game. Maybe there's going to be like an actual real storyline or something, not just like some kind of a more
like a grounded storyline, not necessarily.
Yeah. More grounded storyline. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, yeah. We will see. We will see.
Another thing is the multiplayer aspect of this game.
Right. He mentions that in his Twitter post, and I think maybe I remember seeing the word online tossed around somewhere. So
makes me wonder if the premise is that everyone will be rebuilding the settlements together in some kind of persistent world.
And that makes me worried because if it's that, it's not a linear game. It's a game where you might have to rely on other people to hit certain points or percentages, etc. I saw somewhere in chat confirm this or deny this, or maybe you guys know it. Someone was saying that the way that the trailer showed on stream, because it showed at an odd time, it started at 10:50 Central. Didn't start at any like on the hour. It started 10 minutes prior to the hour. Someone was saying that it started because of the amount of people that joined the stream, and that's how they decided when to launch the trailer. Did you guys see anything about that? Where they didn't start it until a certain amount of people joined the stream?
No, that was a 90% sure a troll going around because it was disappearing at a timed rate and then it was all gone right before the trailer. So I don't think it has anything to do with viewers.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I didn't know if that was fake news or not because I was curious.
I believe it's fake news, but I don't think there's been confirmation either way.
Okay. All right.
Okay, color me like dumb or whatever, but what's the hands thing?
It was just a reveal. It was a marketing ploy. Basically, when the stream started, there were hands all over the screen, and they were playing the trailer behind it, so you couldn't really see anything. And then as time went on, it got clearer and clearer and clearer. And then by the time the trailer just actually played, it was all gone and good to go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Again, just marketing
hands.
Stuff. I wouldn't put too much thought into it.
Oh, tomorrow is in your hands. That's okay. That's
the thing that kept repeating or promoting the marketing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said I'm dumb. I didn't even put that together.
Yeah. Anyways, we will see. It's out this year. And with that, we can kind of jump into the news because with this coming out this year, Jason Schreier, Mr. Kotaku himself, was out there saying that The Last of Us has been pushed to 2020, potentially early 2020, potentially February. And so I'm wondering, The Last of Us 2, I should say.
Really?
Yeah. Which...
Well, that is a bummer. I wonder why.
I don't know if he went as... And granted, it's what he's hearing. It's not confirmed. They're not out there saying that it's delayed. Hell, they didn't even have a launch date tied to it. So...
Why do I think it was coming out this year?
I think that's just what people hoped. And I think it's because there was a lot of... when they announced that they had like wrapped filming, a lot of people tied it to the... I think it was Uncharted, maybe Last of Us 1, where it came out a certain number of months after that. And so they were saying, oh, it's going to be out later in the fall because it's 6 or 7 months after they finished the motion cap filming. But I'm okay.
I mean, honestly,
it comes out February.
Last of Us 2 is a when it's done thing.
Yeah,
like there's zero, like nothing. If the game's quality is a factor, there is zero reason it should come out any earlier than it needs to. It could come out in 2021. I mean, if that's what it takes, like whatever, we'll wait.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not go crazy or anything. I mean, when it's done, it's done. But 2021 is a little long.
But what if that means? See,
you need to do that voice more.
That's a pretty good voice. I am curious if that means that they are going to do exactly what they did with Last of Us 1, where it's going to be this bridge game where it launches on PS4 and we get like the remastered right around the launch time of the PS5. Because that's exactly what they did with the first one, and the PS4 version of Last of Us is obviously the best version to play it as.
That's probably why they pushed it back, because they're going to release Last of Us on PC this Christmas.
There you go. Yeah, they're going to announce PlayStation coming to Epic Game Store. Epic bought it. They put in enough money.
That'd be so nice, man. That would be so nice.
Yeah.
One day.
Be great. It did kind of make me sad too watching the Death Stranding trailer because PlayStation bought him and it's an in-house studio. It means that we won't get a PC version of that game, so it's probably going to be locked at 30 and all that nonsense. So kind of bummed me out a little bit, but oh well, I'm still going to play it. I think
we're going to cinematic that way.
Yeah. I think it's also moving forward to the other and I've seen a lot of conversation about this, and it also bums me out. But I think with the next generation of consoles, you're going to see a lot of 4K 30 rather than 1080p 60.
I really hope they give us the option.
I hope so too. I hope that all the like big
us.
exclusive games have the 1080p 60 option, but they got to push those TV cells, right? Like they got to drive those Sony TVs and those. Yeah. But they'll look pretty. At least they will look pretty. That's for sure.
I mean, I'm sorry. At this point, I would always take 60 over 4K. Like
I think most PC people would, but the average console gamer, unfortunately, doesn't understand what 30 to 60 looks like. They can't see that, and so the graphics looking better would sell them on that. Anyways, what else is out there? What was that? Oh, you said we'll see.
We'll see.
Gotcha. Some other stuff that was announced this morning is that they've been kind of teasing this with like some Infinity Stones colors on the side. Square Enix announced that the Avengers Project Worldwide reveal will be happening at their press conference June 10th at 6 p.m. Pacific, and that Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal are working on that. Nothing else was shown. I really want to know what that game looks like and what the fuck that game is. I think most people are drawing a lot of comparisons to like, oh, it's going to be like Spider-Man, but completely different devs, completely different publisher. We will really just have to see it. Definitely bumped up to my most anticipated thing that's announced right now at E3, though. I just want to see what the fuck that game looks like. And I hope it's not like a weird mobile game or a console game that has a mobile component. I hope it's just a through and through console game. Like linear gameplay where you're playing as Iron Man and then you get to play as the Hulk and all that shit. We will see. There's nothing else out there except the fact that they finally announced that it's going to be at their E3 press conference. Zeke, and I guess Co as well, you guys will be into this. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 revealed that the final clan is the Malkavian.
Malkavian.
Yeah. I have not seen this trailer yet, so I'm going to pull this up and watch it while you guys are talking about it. But Zeke, this is what you played as, right? You're the Malkavian fan?
Oh, I played through all of them, man. Malkavian is awesome because Malkavian are the vampires where the vampire blood has tainted them, and the human side and the vampire side are constantly at war inside themselves. So they come off as like completely crazy. Like their view of the world is skewed. How they talk is weird. It leads to their playthrough in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines is nothing like the other playthroughs in terms of what you say and stuff like that. It's pretty awesome. I think it's just a teaser.
Yeah, it's not a full-on trailer.
You talk to a stop sign. If that like
you don't talk to it, you have a conversation with it.
Wait, really?
No. You don't have a conversation because it goes both ways if it's a conversation. Because the something doesn't never talk back.
Oh Lord.
Don't you have multiple lines though? Like it is talking back to you, or am I thinking the wrong thing?
No, you keep talking to it, but it doesn't have dialogue of its own.
That's true.
Like you would say, like, no, you stop. No, you stop. But it never says anything back.
In his head it might be. But yeah.
Sure.
Dude, I gotta say, the more I hear about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, the more excited I'm getting about it. It's kind of weird that they chose to display it how they did with that one trailer at the very beginning that made it look like basically Dishonored. Yeah. Because now that it's coming out, like more and more information is coming out about it, there's so much more unique and interesting things that they could have put in that trailer in terms of like what you're actually going to be doing in the world, and the masquerade, and some powers you can use around people and some you can't, and it's looking great. It's looking great.
Looks pretty good. We'll see more at E3. I think that's Paradox publishing that, so I think that would show up at the PC gaming show potentially. They said that more at E3, so I don't know if they're gonna have a booth or where it'll actually show up, but all will be revealed in about a week and a half or so, a little bit less than that. More E3 stuff being rumored and leaked. Ubisoft is out there saying that they're going to reveal a Rocket League style roller derby game at E3, which begs the question, do we need another Rocket League? Is there enough of a market for a Rocket League-ish game?
A lot of people still play Rocket League, dude.
Well, it's super popular, but do people want an Ubisoft Rocket League? Do they want a Trackmania League type deal? Like, I don't know. I guess we'll see. It kind of comes out with, I look at it the same way I look at Steep, that like winter sports game that they put out that kind of, I don't want to say flopped, but it kind of flopped. It kind of floundered.
Kind of flopped.
It kind of flopped. Yeah. So we'll have to see what comes out of that. That was on PC Gamer was the one reporting that, at least the one that I saw. Don't know how much you guys will care about this, but I kind of brought this up when we were talking about Super Mario Maker 2. Nintendo still doesn't understand the internet and how it actually is supposed to work because...
I did a take on this news.
Yeah. Super Mario Maker 2, during the Nintendo Direct that they put out, they were talking about multiplayer, and they were showing like, oh, you can play with people and play 4-player multiplayer and all that stuff. It's limited to randoms only. You cannot play with friends over the internet. You cannot like make a lobby.
Not even like for fun. Like there's no way apparently to play with people you know.
Yeah. It's such a Nintendo thing. I can't even like be upset with them because of. I look at that, I'm just like, well, duh. Like, of course Nintendo's gonna do something like that. Like, of course, that's Nintendo. What do you expect?
I think the next step is like they actually like go through your Facebook post and your Twitter post, and they pair you with people you actually don't like. It's like that's the thing. It's like you can play multiplayer with people you don't like.
It's really
go
weird,
ahead.
Man.
Nintendo is forcing you to communicate with like your ex-girlfriend who plays the same game as you. Like
you only get to play with
Nintendo.
That's such a weird thing. Keep in mind, Nintendo are the same developers that for Splatoon multiplayer voice, you had to use your phone. That's how you talked to other people, was you used a phone app for the multiplayer voice. So, yeah, I mean, we're a month out from that game releasing, so I don't know if they could actually do anything about that. It might come down the line, which is a shitty thing to, oh yeah, we patched the game. Please be excited about being able to play with people you want to instead of randoms.
Now hold on a second. Now let's try and like play the devil's advocate here and look at it from Nintendo's perspective. And ask the question, why is that what's happening?
The reasoning they gave,
because the coding is bad or not bad, but it's more difficult, or
the reason they gave was because they wanted the leaderboards to be reflective of like ranked. They wanted the ranked leaderboards to be real or something. It would affect ranked play is what they said. What you can't see if you're listening to the MP3 is Zeke's just staggering face.
But don't you want the people like at the top to be the best, like the best of the best they can be, like teams?
Let me read what they put because I gave a wishy-washy excuse.
Picture this.
Sure, and then I'll say.
Grab 100 people that like sort of like to play like a sport. Let's just say soccer, for instance.
Okay, soccer.
And
that's
then
a sport.
From
Outside
varying skill levels, and then go, we're gonna make random teams from like people who are like 6 years old up to like 80 years old, and we're gonna make teams of varying skill levels. But I bet you're gonna watch it. I bet you're gonna watch it, and I bet you're gonna put stock in who's the top of the leaderboard from these random fucking teams. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Let me say what Nintendo actually said. According to NintendoWorldReport.com, Nintendo's reasoning is that with global leaderboards, the matchmaking for competitive play would be compromised if you could play with friends. That limitation also extends to co-op play as well, despite those not being leaderboard driven. So, of course, you can play multiplayer with friends locally if you guys are all at the same place, but yeah.
Oh, the multiplayer is all like is a free for all then.
Yes, there's multiplayer free for all, but there's also multiplayer co-op. There's two different modes, and either of them you cannot play with friends over the internet.
But I thought the multiplayer co-op, the idea was like that's what I'm talking about, like creating the best team.
Right, but you're going to create the best team with randoms. You can't choose who your team is, Zeke. You're not allowed.
Okay. So I mean, it's just it's so silly. It's so Nintendo.
It's so Nintendo, man. It's so Nintendo. It's so Nintendo. Hopefully something changes in a month, but I highly doubt it will. It'll probably be a patch 6 months from now that Nintendo celebrates and everyone's just like, fucking good job, Nintendo. Way to go. Way to make that change happen 6 months down the line. What else is out there? No, I don't know. Cyberpunk 2077 news. So, Code, this might interest you more than it does me and Zeke. They're out there saying that it won't support mods at launch. Is that a big thing? It's kind of just duh, I think. It might be the... It also begs the question, will it support mods later on? Is that why they're out there saying it?
I will say the fact that they said at release is pretty telling.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what... I don't know. I guess we have to see what the game is in E3. Right?
We've been waiting for Cyberpunk for years and years and years now. I don't think many people are like, man, I can't wait to mod Cyberpunk day one.
Yeah.
Like I think most people are just like, I can't wait to experience this in the way CDPR intends us. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, sure. For your second or third playthrough later, mods may be great and can enhance functionality and stuff. But day one, I think we're just ready for the game.
Witcher 3, did it have any worthwhile mods, like fan-made mods or anything like that?
I heard there were some good mods for it, but to be honest, I had a phenomenal experience with everything vanilla. So,
okay. Yeah, I don't even know like what would exist for Witcher 3 mods, so maybe check.
Okay.
Help us out.
Here's the thing. Everyone's saying nude mods. I'm pretty sure Cyberpunk has nudity in it anyway, so you should be good.
Yeah, wasn't there nudity in the E3 demo?
I think there was a little, maybe close to it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
From what I understand, there's brothels in the game, so I think those people will be fine.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I remember watching the trailer and being like, "That's a titty."
Yeah. Zeke, did you happen to? Are you seeing Cyberpunk at E3 since you're going to be there, or no? Okay.
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I'd imagine. I got an invite for something. But
that's probably what that is.
Yeah.
You got to respond to those.
So sad I'm not going to E3.
No, I'll be working.
Oh, okay. I think Erin actually got confirmed, so hopefully they give out another thing that she can bring home. Because I missed out on the, what was it, like the nurse cyberpunk thing that came out last year, whatever that statue was. You got one of those, didn't you, Co? Oh, you didn't get, okay, I thought you got one. Everyone that went last year, I know, got one. Remember, they were all tweeting it out.
Door prize.
Yep. And then yesterday, granted, anytime we covered this stuff, we get it completely wrong because none of us are Pokemon super fans. I would even say fans, maybe, to begin with.
You speak for yourself.
Did you do your Pokemon stuff yet?
Damn thing as we speak here.
Okay. All right.
It's a nightmare.
Ko's our number one Pokemon fan on the show, so we're going to go to him with all the Pokemon news. Ko, what do you know about Pokemon Sleep?
Pokemon Sleep?
It was announced yesterday. The old Pokemon Sleep. Ko, what if you could train your Pokemon even in your sleep? Because I don't know if you know this, but in 2016, Pokemon Go turned the simple act of walking into entertainment, making the entire world into a game. But now they're about to do it again. But this time for sleeping. I'm reading directly from their press release.
Does your Pokemon get better trained if you sleep better?
We're pleased to announce the development of Pokemon Sleep, a new app from Pokemon that tracks a user's time sleeping and brings a gameplay experience unlike any other.
Abe, what? Can we go into this a little bit more?
I don't know. The next line is, several Snorlax were consulted on this. In case you were wondering, Pokemon Sleep is coming in 2020.
April? No? What is going on here?
I don't know what else is in this because it's not in this tweet. Chat, what is this fucking game? What do you do?
This actually might be a game that I could go pro level with. Like I might be able to go esports with Pokemon Sleep.
I'm trying to figure out.
I'm excited to see what happens.
Okay, the CNN reporting this. CNN, Jesus, reported this. The company shared a few details on the app. It said that it would track the amount of time players spend sleeping and when they wake up. Both of those data points will have an effect on gameplay. An external device that comes with the app.
It's not fair, kiddists.
An external device that comes with the app will send the sleep data to users' smartphones. The app, which is expected to launch sometime next year, aims to turn sleeping into entertainment, the Pokemon company said in a statement.
Dude, this is fucking genius though, because they're gonna start sending commercials to us while we're dreaming.
Yeah, what if the app just constantly goes, buy more Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Buy 5 packs of Pokemon.
No, you'll be like walking through your dream. Buy Coke, drink Coke, McDonald's, ba-da-ba-ba-ba. You're like, I'm being chased by a monster. Like ads are popping in, like
Pikachu loves you, Zeke. It's just nonstop. It's great. Yeah, that was a weird thing. They also put what else was out there at the Pokemon? I think Pokemon Sleep was the main thing that they announced last night, but this was from the Pokemon Company. I think Nintendo is doing a Nintendo Direct
Speaking of
soon for the new Pokemon game on the Switch.
bullshit Nintendo stuff, so I bought on Amazon Pokemon Red version 3DS digital code. I put that code in my 3DS, and it tells me this product cannot be distributed on this system. Please wait for a valid date to use this product.
Did you buy one that's not released yet?
Pokemon Red? Is that...
Did you... Nintendo's really weird, so I'm just trying to think outside the box. Did you buy another region's code?
on Amazon? I don't think so.
Oh yeah, you might have bought a Japanese code or European code or something.
Is your 3DS US?
It's modded and hacked and all sorts of stuff, but I mean, the
is
store
it?
works.
That's probably why.
So, yeah, you have to, because you have to. Yeah, it's dumb. But oh Lord,
Why don't you give me the code and I'll try it, and then if it works, I'll let you know.
okay, you really want it?
No,
I do not.
no.
So
Not even for the purposes of a joke do I want
I
it.
know.
Wait, so your 3DS is modded for streaming capture, right?
Yes.
So that probably means it's a Japanese 3DS, which means you need to buy a Japanese code. I would think. Nintendo's weird about region locking. So you might have to go to like Amazon.jp.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did get it from Japan. Okay.
You should.
Thank you.
Can you not access the eShop on that 3DS because it's hacked?
I just got it. Funny enough, I got this 3DS that took me like 3 months to get here and all this stuff. And then I was like, right when I get it without thinking, I'm like, oh, system update. Boop. I hope I didn't ruin it. So that would have been pretty dumb.
He pushed the brick button.
So,
well, hold on. Do you have a paperclip somewhere?
No. What is a paper?
If you get a paperclip, that's all you need to break a 3DS.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how you hack a 3DS. You just use a paperclip, and you put it in like the speaker port or some shit. I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, that's for the Switch. Sorry, that's for the Switch. Yeah.
Okay.
That's for the Switch. Not don't insert paper clips into random holes there.
JP's like,
hold on.
break electric wall sockets with a paper.
Say that again. Do not.
Yes. Life advice.
Paper clip.
Life advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that.
I mean, that's just good life advice.
Right
at the
up
heart of
here
it.
on my
You
camera
aren't
here, so
supposed
I
to
don't
update a
forget
modded
it.
3DS. Oh,
Do
good.
not put paper clips into random holes.
Words to live by right there. Words to live by. Yeah, you might have fucked up updating that.
Yeah, I'm gonna check.
Yeah. Someone in chat saying they also announced Pokemon Home, which is where you can store Pokemon from all Pokemon games.
Oh, like in one place?
I guess.
Okay, I don't even play Pokemon. That's kind of cool. So imagine if you had like one garage for all of your Gran Turismos. Like, even if I don't play it, that's still kind of cool.
Pokemon Home is a cloud platform for Pokemon video games coming in 2020, as announced during the Pokemon 2019 press conference on Tuesday. It will also connect the Nintendo Switch for Pokemon Sword and Shield and for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Finally, it will even connect to the Nintendo 3DS. Huh. Why didn't they call that the Pokédex? Didn't they? Isn't that like the whatever? Pokemon can do whatever the fuck they want. It'll make $1 billion somehow. That's just how it goes. Cole, you'll have to report back to us as our leading expert on Pokemon here, because I'm lost. I'm in a sea of information that just makes zero sense to me. So we'll move on with news. EA's out there saying exactly what to expect from them at E3, and it's kind of underwhelming. Streaming on EA.com, you can find Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Apex Legends, Battlefield 5, EA Sports FIFA, EA Sports Madden NFL, and The Sims 4. And that's it.
So tune it at 9:30 and then forget about it. Just fucking don't do shit. Like tune it at 9:30 and then nap time. That's what it should have said. Like 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Nap.
The crazy thing about this is a game that they spent a shit ton of money on and could use some help, and is rather recent than some of the games mentioned here, specifically The Sims 4, is missing. Anthem is not there at all, at any capacity. I
wonder why that is.
I wonder if they just never say the word Anthem ever again at an E3 or an EA anything. Like,
it's going to be like that friend you had in elementary school where every time you say it, Ant what? Ant what? No, I was asking what Ant was. Ant what?
Like,
just it never comes up again.
There's an Anthem patch coming out, I think tomorrow. Yeah, Anthem update on 1.2.0. Oh, launches today with a Cataclysm live stream and public test server coming soon. I don't know if they've said what's in this patch. Let me read here. We'll be diving deeper into these topics and others, as well as giving a first look at Cataclysm tomorrow on a live stream at 3 p.m. Central over on Twitch or Mixer. So I guess that's just something that you have to wait for to the stream.
Dude. Oh, wow. So Simon in my chat said, "Co, actually, after months of work, read these huge patch notes." And he linked me the patch notes for 1.2.
Oh, those are out. Okay.
It's like 4 pages of just random bug fixes and a few enhancements at the beginning.
Oh, yes. Full notes here. Yeah. Let me pull these up.
And that's it.
Here are the full notes for game update 1.2.0.
This is what they've been working on for months now.
Huh.
And all those lines you see in those are mostly just fixes. So it's like, fixed an issue when you receive no loot if your entire party was down during the final phase. Fixed an issue where the monitoring counter would break if too much damage was done. Fixed an issue where some creatures were unable to path to the player correctly. Like,
man.
Ooh. Like this is good. They're fixing bugs, but it's like none of this is going to bring people back that have left. None of it.
This is a feature update. Load screens now display lore regarding the location that you're loading into. Added
3 Emerald Abyss legendary missions have been added.
Man.
3. There's the content, boys. 3 Emerald Abyss legendary missions have been added. There you go.
Man. I feel...
Layer Cake says, "Hey, Co, that's a lot of work for only 3 people."
Man.
Dude, actually, we may have talked about this a little bit, but almost every major player on Anthem has been moved off the project.
Oh, yeah.
They've basically taken anyone that was doing... the people that were responding to question after question after question on Twitter for months, like one of the biggest ones was just like, moved. Like, you're done with this. You're gone. And he was like one of the masterminds behind it. So it's just kind of like, oh, oof. No, they didn't fire them. I don't think they fired them. I think most of them were moved to DA4, which every day that goes by becomes more concerning of a project. With what we're hearing about it. So oh man, I don't know. I hate to say it, dude, but I have the biggest feeling that DA4 is just going to flop and then BioWare is just going to be dissolved. I really hope here on May 29th of 2019 that doesn't come true. But oof, it's looking more and more like that's what's going to happen. The Dragon Age 4 is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And it was
what they basically said. Here's what we know about Dragon Age 4. It was an absolute mess during production and rebooted multiple times. EA is most likely going to be forcing their new live service system into Dragon Age. We know that no big names were working on it, and then all of a sudden a bunch of people were ripped off Anthem to work on it. And we also know that at this point it is most likely being rushed to completion as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So like you add even half of all those together, and that's a recipe for disaster.
You're not lying. Yeah.
Small side note. Someone said, you said DA4. Now most gamers would go, "Oh, Dragon Age 4. We know what that is."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know who in chat said, "What the fuck is DA4?" And I just to see Google, I went DA4 Google. It's like Dragon Age 4's first thing come up. Like, try a little. Like, come on, just try a little before you're like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, come on, try.
Dragon Age 4 is Anthem. It stands for Anthem 4.
The 4 of what? I don't understand. What the 4?
Mm-hmm. 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 I think we talked about this in some capacity, but this week, YouTube Gaming is more or less shutting down. They've mentioned that they were going to kind of not. It's weird. I'm trying to find the exact thing that they're doing with it. May 30th, Google will shut down the standalone YouTube gaming app and the standalone gaming.youtube.com website. So I still think that it's going to, youtube.com/gaming will now be the gaming section. So I think they're just kind of changing some URLs and stuff like that and restructuring a lot of it, which I think we've talked about before. So not necessarily the biggest news. It's not all doom and gloom. Twitch has not won the streaming wars, blah, 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 blah. None of that is true. So, yeah, and this has, I think, been out there for a while. Most of the YouTube gaming staff has been merged into the YouTube staff at large. So they're all still there and still doing stuff with gaming creators. So it's not all doom and gloom. But that does bring up some stuff that happened this week on Twitch. We'll start with the not so bad, or I guess it depends on how you look at it. Then we'll talk about the crazy stuff that's been happening over in a certain game section. But there was a stream that was up a couple days ago where they were basically testing subscription-only streams. To where in order to view said stream, you have to be a subscriber on it. This is not
to view it.
Yes, okay. This is not VODs only. This is the entire stream. To which a lot of people freak the fuck out. And I just said well, yeah, of course. Duh.
I'm actually in your camp.
Yeah, well, of course they're going to do that.
I'm surprised it hasn't been a lot earlier.
Yeah,
how else are they going to usher cam girls into Twitch?
I know. I know. It makes sense. If they're going after the UFCs of the world or any pay-per-view event, that's step one, is to get that stuff situated.
Well, even Chatterbait don't do that.
Yeah.
Twitch is ahead of the game.
Twitch is ahead of the
Not
game.
that I know.
Try to take that market share.
Yeah.
No, so seriously though, the thing about sub only okay, I guess
I don't know how to say it.
And sub only streams. I guess it would be
sub only streams. Yeah.
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 SOSs.
I think we should differentiate it though. I think it should be like put the word view in there, because when I heard sub only streams, that's been a thing forever. And then I read then I heard a little bit more about it. I went, oh, you mean they can watch it? So sub viewable streams. There you go.
Yeah.
Sub viewable.
I think
streams. Okay.
It's here's the thing. I think the majority of people are not going to use them. And here's the thing. There's only specific instances when that's going to work, because if you think about it, whenever somebody is streaming a sub-only stream, they are taking a pretty heavy negative in other areas. I mean, very few people have a sub to non-sub ratio that's crazy. In fact, the larger the stream, most of the time, the less the sub to viewer ratio becomes. So it's and not in all cases, of course, but in many cases, especially in the mid range. So one of the things that is going to be interesting to see is when somebody does a sub only stream, that's time they could be getting new viewers, getting new people interested in their channel, getting new eyes on the stream, and they are taking all of that away from their stream to try to encourage people that already know about them to give them more money. So it's kind of cool, but at the same time, there's a slight cannibalistic aspect to it, and also this aspect where if you're doing that, you are not really progressing. You are just kind of like trying to feed into what's already there.
Right.
Now, for people like me, and I think for most people, honestly, sub-only streams are not going to be something we do often, if ever. I mean, I barely use sub mode. Most of us barely use sub mode, and I mean, sub-only viewing is like the next step of that.
Right.
So, however, on that note, I think there's going to be a lot of people using it for interesting and different reasons. So, for instance, I bet you we're going to see a lot of the big tournament channels start getting sub buttons and saying, hey, you want to see this big tournament? Got to sub to the channel.
Yep.
I think we're going to see a lot of first-person battle royale streamers and things like that. Hey, we got this giant sub-only tournament we're doing next weekend. It's going to be a sub-only stream. If you want to participate, you need to be a sub. You know, that kind of thing.
It's just
people that want to do
stuff.
YouTubers in particular, because they already have that giant untapped audience.
Yep.
Hey, I'm going to do a sub-only viewed stream over on Twitch this weekend. You know, like there's going to be situations. Now, of course, everyone in chat is saying that sucks. This is the worst. Of course it is for you. This is not for you. It's all of this sucks for you. But I mean, there's nothing good for the
we
viewer
have
that
to
comes
pay
out.
for content.
Period.
What?
Sucks for you. But we're not talking about you right now. Sorry, I love you, but this is about you. We're talking about how people are going to use it. So it's the kind of thing where I think people are going to use it, but I think the people that use it heavy-handedly, I think are going to be publicly chastised for it.
Oh yeah.
And I think that people that use it successfully, it will probably be seen as more of a negative to them than anything else. So yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting to see how this thing is used. And honestly, it's going to be used very wrongly in a lot of ways. Like, just wait until like the ASMR streamers and the Just Dance and Little Clothes streamers like start saying like, hey, I'm going to be wearing this much for my normal stream, but tune in for my sub-only stream later when I'm wearing this outfit, and they hold up, you know, literally a thing of floss.
Right.
And it's like, oh, good. Let's see where this goes.
Well, and the hard part about that is most of that stuff is, I want to like policed with heavy quotes around it. Not by necessarily Twitch. It's by people causing an uproar because they're watching the stream waiting to clip that stuff. But if it's behind a sub wall, they can't. So...
Not only do they not clip behind a sub wall, most likely, but that also brings up this whole other thing where is Twitch going to police content behind sub-only streams when it's not public viewing?
Right.
Like,
it's hard to do, man.
I mean, that's one of the ways that some of these other sites get away with that stuff. So I wonder if we're going to see like a TOS change for these streams. And then I wonder if people are going to take advantage of that if it happens.
Yeah. It's in a world where I think Twitch has a difficult time both moderating their site and having people understand how moderation occurs on this site, because it is a little bit loosey-goosey, to use a random term. Yeah, they're only going to run into more problems if this is something that actually does get pushed for the greater site, or for the greater use of everyone on the site.
Well, a couple things. I would use that feature for charity streams, for sure. That's the only thing I would use it for. I would be
hold on. Charity
if you want to watch this ridiculous thing, what's that?
Would you do it to reward people that have already given to charity, or would you do it to raise money for charity?
Oh, raise money. Like all subs, like the title of the stream would be like sub viewing only stream. If you want to watch all subs go to charity.
But the people that, like, what about the people that just want to give to charity but not necessarily sub? You'd be cutting them out of your charity stream.
That's fine for one stream. That's fine.
I'm saying you might make significantly less money.
It's just an event. It's just like one event, like one little stream that I would do. That would be like, if you want to view me like dancing around in a wig or whatever, like something ridiculous or embarrassing or humiliating or something like that, you have to sub to watch it, and it won't be available later and that kind of thing. So like, it's just like a gimmick for raising money for charity.
I see what you're saying with that, but my
Yeah.
guess is the ratio of how many viewers you're going to lose in a stream like that might make it so overall you would make that charity significantly less money. Like,
It's
I
worth
think
a shot, though, is what I'm saying.
it could be. I mean, like, the thing is, though, and this is going to be really interesting for the people that do it, is looking at the metrics afterward. If somebody, let's take a big streamer, Dr. Lupo. If Dr. Lupo, you know, he averages between 8,000 and 9,000 normally. If he did
Dr.
a charity, okay, but he was on the show, Zeke. Come on, dude.
I know, that's why I said that. 'Cause that's...
But anyway, if he were to do a charity stream and lock it down,
sorry. I just had to make a dumb comment to follow up Zeke's dumb comment. Please make your insightful comment. Go ahead.
Like, for instance, if we see somebody that averages 10,000 do a sub-only stream and they drop to 500 viewers, or if we see a 10,000 do to a sub-only stream and they get 8,000 viewers, like that's going to be kind of huge in terms of how long these are going to go. I wonder if, like, I know people, for instance, that are subbed to my channel that would probably not watch if I did a sub-only stream just because they hate that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, I wonder how many of those people are going to be there.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it would only be for charity purposes, and I think it would go pretty well, honestly. Like, I think, and you know what, even would even be better for me personally, in my community, is if I was like, if you want to watch this ridiculous stream, you have to sub. All subs go to charity, and then they sub, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, just like knitting. Like, that would be the joke. I think it'd be great. I think
that's what you're saying. You're treating these types of streams as basically a charity event where you pay an entry fee.
Yeah. Yep.
Which are common. That happens in real life all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My concern is that, and I think Co referenced this pretty early on when we started talking about this, the community at large on Twitch doesn't understand that content, well, thinks that all content is free and should be free forever. It is a very hard thing to put into that community and get them to agree upon the fact that, like, oh, you know, maybe this content should cost X a cent. Like, that's too many cents for a lot of people. And so I think that what Co's saying right now as well is that the people that would tune into that stream might already be subscribed for you, Zeke. So it would be a hard sell to actually raise money that way. Because you won't, again, a lot of like new people won't be like, oh yeah, this is going to charity. They'd rather just tip.
Listen.
Now, of course,
we're all speculating. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that's what I would use it for. I would test it for that, and that only is what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm not speculating.
Secondly,
people on Twitch don't want to put any fucking money on anything. They want all content to be free forever, entirely. That's not speculation. That's cold hard facts.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is we're speculating on how successful a charity stream sub view only would be because we don't know yet.
Sure. Okay.
I'm talking in that one specific instance. Now, my second point is when you start charging something for something people have been accustomed to getting for free, they'll find out how to get it for free again. Meaning they'll find places that's like illegal restreams or something like that.
Yeah.
Like they'll find like a workaround for that kind of shit.
Probably.
So like,
yeah.
I don't see
this.
All
that stuff.
I don't see this being a good. Let me just say this statement: sub view only streams, I do not think is a good idea.
Right
there.
Okay.
I've said it.
Okay. All right. All right. Also, to everyone saying JP's got to make roleplay sub, guys, I'm not an idiot. All right, that would kill roleplay. That's a stupid fucking idea.
again, folks need to remember, Twitch is not a static environment.
Yeah.
Every single day, you lose viewers and regulars. Every single day. If you are not constantly getting new eyes, new viewers, new subs, you are basically losing ground every single stream. So that's the point I was making earlier. If you do a sub-only viewing stream, you are going to be having attrition at a much higher rate than if you were to be doing a public event. Like Sounds weird saying
public-
that private. But yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
A normal stream. Yeah.
A normal stream.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyways, from that we go to this whole Artifact channel game directory debacle that has been happening. Yeah, it's really weird. Do you have something happy before we do that?
By the way, you can't sub bomb in those streams. There's no non-sub. You can't sub bomb in those streams.
I wonder what that would do with that.
It would they'll probably just disable them.
What happens if you go to a stream with like 10 viewers and drop 100 subs? Does it go to past viewers of that stream and give them a sub as well?
JP asking the real questions. Hold on. Give me 5 minutes.
Chat's saying yes.
Followers?
Are you just gonna go find this channel with like 5?
Well, I'll tell you this. Like, I'll tell you from previous experience. I've started up a stream immediately, and had someone come in and drop like 100 bomb before I even like right immediately when I started the stream, and I knew there wasn't 100 people in there because people don't just like fucking hang out on my channel like when I'm offline.
Right.
So I know for a fact that you can gift subs to people that aren't there.
Okay. So it would still be really weird.
Okay. So right now, DJ Knight has 31 viewers.
Okay.
Well,
Give me 1 sec.
put it to you this way: like Tommy Wiseau and Mia
hurry,
Khalifa have been subbed to me for over a year apiece because someone keeps gifting them subs.
Well, you can gift an individual a sub when they're not there, but Co's point is saying if you go to a sub that's sub only, does it apply to non-subs? Because non-subs won't even be there, right?
Oh, sure. Okay.
But again, we don't even know if this is a real fucking product that's coming to Twitch ever. This might have, who knows? This might be an old product that they were testing to see if it's even going to work in this day and age, etc.
Yeah, worked fine.
So
I think it probably went to the followers.
Okay, cool.
Also, you guys should check out DJ Knight. He's the man.
Yeah, go check him out. Go give him some subs. He's probably real confused right now.
Yeah, right.
Just keep doing that. That's good. So yeah, this Artifact game directory thing that happened over the weekend. There was reports of, well, start with the not so bad things. Endgame was streamed. I think there was a bunch of anime that was streamed in full. There was a bunch of movies, Malcolm in the Middle, just like TV shows and movies ad nauseum being streamed. And then he got into some really fucked up stuff. The Edgelords decided to show up and restream the one of the shootings that was recorded and some other stuff that shouldn't have been in there. I think reports of child porn was also shown, and just some really foul shit being streamed to that directory. So Twitch has now closed new streams. Or what is the official wording they put in the tweet? Is it they closed new accounts on Twitch, or they closed accounts being able to stream that are new? Because it was a big blow, regardless of what it was, and I want to get the wording correctly. New accounts can't stream. Okay. Let me pull this up here real quick. Where is this? Jesus, there's so much. Hold on, let me scroll through these 1,000 fucking video posts to see what is social media for Twitch right now. I'll get there eventually. Is it just not here? Hold on, let me go to the #1 news source for all Twitch drama. I know it's there somewhere. Here it is. Oh, this came from Twitch support. Okay. So they tweeted, and I'll show this on stream. They tweeted, over the weekend we became aware of a number of accounts targeting the Artifact game directory to share content that grossly violates our terms of service. Our investigations uncovered that the majority of accounts were shared and viewed the content were automated. I'm not going to scroll past this because it's probably not great in the comments. We are working with urgency to remove the offending content and suspend all accounts engaged in the behavior. In addition, we have temporarily suspended the ability for new creators to stream. We are very sorry for the inconvenience. The safety of our community is our top priority. We're doing everything we can to restore all access as quickly as possible. We will provide an update for when we're able to do so. So this came out after a lot of like major gaming sites and major gaming publication had picked it up. With most of the news being like, why is Twitch not shutting this shit down faster? Because I think some of that stuff played in full, if not repeated. So it's kind of raises a bigger issue, I think, at large outside of this. Is it time for Twitch to actually have like a Amazon-esque support staff 24/7 or something like that to help with any of
Don't
this?
they already?
I don't know if you can ever talk to a real person. You can tweet at Twitch support and you can like contact and like wait to be responded to, but I'm talking like a live chat thing. I feel like this is only going to become a bigger problem now that people have seen what it can do and the amount of response that this has generated. It's only going to get more and more, to be blunt, assholes doing the same thing. Yeah. Now that they've seen they can kind of game it.
Well, I mean, this is similar to what those porn streamers were doing, where they would basically make a new account.
Right.
They would basically treat it as a ChatterBait channel or a My Free Cam. They would get 2,500-ish viewers, and then the channel that paid that porn person would then get hosted by them to get a ton of eyes on them, and they would keep that host up until the channel got banned. So it was like this weird way to game the system using new accounts, and the person who, from what we understand, paid for that whole process, it can't get pinned on them, and now they have all these eyes on them that wouldn't be there normally.
Yeah.
So that's another weird situation tied into that, and I think they're still trying to wrestle with that too.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta tell you, dude, it takes me back to the day about, I don't know, take a journey back with me about 9 years ago, Justin TV, when I watched Trailer Park Boys and South Park episodes back to back to back to back. I watched NFL games and UFC fights and all that kind of stuff on one glorious network.
They call that just chatting now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, you think I'm kidding? You can go right now to just chatting, find South Park.
Oh, I know.
Movies.
I know.
Like, and the thing is that they're in different languages. Then a lot of times they can't be DMCA'd by normal means.
Right.
For some reason, like there's some way that you can get around it by doing it in different languages. There's channels that have been running episodes of South Park for months.
Right.
And they're like big channels.
Really?
They always have hundreds of viewers. Absolutely.
Well, and here's the thing with that.
A lot of anime too.
My understanding of DMCA law is very limited, and I think both of y'all's understanding is very limited as well. But isn't there something to do with like Twitch cannot shut those streams down themselves, or it will violate safe harbor for Twitch as a whole?
Have to be DMCA'd.
They have to be DMCA'd by the rights holder.
It has to come from them, or Twitch is taking it on themselves to remove content that might not be legally supposed to be taken down.
Right.
And if Twitch does that, they interject themselves into a situation that can cause a lot. See, Twitch decided early to take a hands-off stance. They decided to say, we are the service, and anything that takes place on the service is the sole responsibility of the person streaming it. So the only time they can take something down is if it directly affects the TOS, which is why all these gray areas, like live streams fails, is just full of this person should be banned, this person isn't banned, this person should have been banned, but isn't, this person got this person banned and should be banned for it. Like, because it's this huge gray area, and Twitch like sometimes has to step in, but the TOS isn't always black and white either. So it's real messy, man. They want to be as hands off as possible. Their system is designed to be as hands off as possible.
Right.
So if these companies don't step forward and say, we're going to do all the paperwork necessary for you to be told to take that down, Twitch isn't going to touch it.
Right. I mean, from a business standpoint, it's smart because they don't have to actually have any extra resources to handle that shit. But from a community standpoint, it's really confusing because no one in the community understands that, I think.
And also, to be fair, a lot of people say, and I've heard this many times, like, oh, that's so shitty at Twitch, blah, blah, blah. There's a flip side to this. This means that all the content we make on our channels are owned by us. So there's a very big silver lining to this. If Twitch were to actually have been like the overlord and said like, yeah, we're gonna control everything that happens on our site, then everything I made on Twitch, everything JP and Zeke made on Twitch would be owned by Twitch. And then they could market that, use it, sell it whatever they wanted to, take quotes, take footage. And they don't do that. That's the whole reason that there's, a pretty good reason for this for streamers.
Yeah. A positive spin on this, at least for me, is before it got real shitty and people were streaming like mass shootings and apparently child porn. I never actually saw any of that or saw reports of that 100% confirmed. But a lot of people are super excited to just like watch an anime with other people in Twitch chat, or to watch a movie with other people in Twitch chat. And so I hope that people at Twitch see that and think, because they already kind of do it with Twitch Presents.
I was gonna say, like, you're basically saying Twitch Presents.
But I want it on a bigger scale. Like, what if they have like a movie release night where they show like some movie that's showing, or what if they show Godzilla this week and you can watch it for stream, or watch it on Twitch in a sub-only stream, and you watch it with all your viewers on like Thursday night at 10 p.m.
Kind of cool. Like, imagine if Twitch had a system where when new movies came out, you could watch them with your community in sub-only view mode.
Yep.
And when people bought to watch with you, that was actually like them buying a movie ticket, and some of that money went to like if you would have gone to the theater or not.
Yep. That'd be awesome. Like that type of stuff would, not only would it generate,
I might actually watch movies.
Yeah, you might actually get out of the house.
Like that.
Not only would it do, I think, extremely well on Twitch, you'd get so many people outside of Twitch that have never visited the site coming in to say like, hey, I can watch Godzilla.
Dude,
what? Let's watch it.
Every
right now.
major movie release could be like a giant community event on Twitch.
Yeah. It would be really cool for sure. Which is why I looked at that and I was like, man, they should do something with this. Granted.
Yes, that's true. For everyone in chat saying that would make the movies exceptionally easy to pirate. That is completely accurate. Yes. You could just screen cap at that point. Like that is a very good point. So that may not be something they want to do. So they'd have to do it like when the movie releases on like Netflix or something. Because if it's on Netflix, you can do the same thing as if it were on Twitch.
It's a little bit harder to bypass that stuff now, at least when it comes to like Amazon Video, Netflix, YouTube TV, and I think Hulu. Anytime you open those sites and there is a HDCP check on your PCs, so if there's like a capture card installed, you can't watch that stuff on that PC. At least I can't. There's no way for me to bypass that unless I have like an HDCP stripper. So you could probably do something. Twitch could probably introduce that security measure.
That being said, though,
it's still easy to do.
Sure
you can still do it.
Instances where they could like get with the producer of the video and do it in like special occasions and things like that. Like I still think your idea is awesome.
Yeah.
I hope to see something like that. What would also be cool is imagine if there were older shows and series that we could license for viewing with our community.
Right.
So imagine like if I wanted to watch Trigun with my community, I wanted to make a month-long event where every night at 7 p.m. we watch a different episode of Trigun together as a community. And that would cost me 13% of the subs that come into my channel during those streams. Like,
hell, just bring Amazon Video.
I would do Trigun, then I'd do Cowboy Bebop, then I'd do Ghost of the Shell Standalone Complex, then I would do Echo. Like, oh man, Psycho-Pass? Yeah, like, oh dude, that'd be oh man, anime nights with your favorite streamer.
I mean, if they're really worried about like movies at large being pirated and stuff, just pull stuff over from Amazon Prime Video. Like right now, just Man in the High Castle. Let us watch the entire season or something.
The more I talk about this, dude, the more I'm realizing this is like millions of potential dollars.
Yes, it's a ton of money. It's a giant fucking revenue stream.
Get someone promoted at Twitch. Like, oh, he's that guy that came up with that multi-million-dollar idea.
Yeah. Now people don't have to hear about how he's an analyst. They can actually watch how Jack Reacher's fucking whatever his name is.
Oh, for Amazon content, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it would all be under the same roof.
Yeah.
Not
Jack Reacher. Who's the Yemen guy? It's Jack Reacher is the Tom Cruise one. Jack Ryan. Okay.
Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
Jack Ryan.
Also, that's really good. #ad, but it's actually a pretty good show. Yeah. You can't go to him. You can't at all. You can't.
Probably for the better. He'd probably just get murdered there.
He probably would. And blown up or something. It's tough over there. It's real rough.
I like Jack Ryan.
It's a good show.
I don't want him to get murdered in Yemen.
I don't either. I really liked his performance in The Office, too. It's crazy that they got like a military professional to be in a weird show like that. Anyways. Zeke, you have anything to add?
No, actually, I have nothing to add to that, but I have, I realized that I never use the search function or the browse or anything like that anymore on Twitch. So I just went to the just chatting category and I scrolled through all the way down to like 50 viewers from the top to all the way down just to see what was going on. And it's mostly like people actually just chatting. There are a few there are a few view bait like thumbnails and that kind of stuff, but like mostly it's by and large it's people just fucking chilling, chatting.
Yeah.
Like I saw one like copywritten thing, like if someone was showing X-Men or something like that. Like
I generally look at just chatting stuff in the mornings of EST. So I don't know if it's maybe a time thing, but when I look at it in the mornings, there is generally a few people doing it. Like I just last week there was a dude streaming South Park in Russian.
A lot of those are
like
more Russian streams in a row, to be honest.
Yeah. There's a lot of also there's a lot of it's either Korean or Taiwanese that will stream anime. There's like this one dude that basically just watches anime with his community in the mornings. So I don't know how that works. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Maybe there's like some kind of anime that's in the public realm. I don't know any of that stuff, but yeah, it's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. And the other thing too, there might not be that many right now because new accounts can't stream. So effectively, like all the bot accounts can't exist really. So, or can't stream. So,
Victimized saying co-snitching. Dude, these are public things. Like I'm not. Just go look.
Yeah. Sorry for shutting your stream down, buddy. We apologize. Those 20 viewers, they're not coming back, man.
My name's Co the Snitch.
Are you a cop? Are you a cop? Are you a fucking cop, Co? Jesus. This is a no cop show. I just had to fuck it up. All right. Well, let's take a break a little bit early. That's kind of all the news. Next week we'll be doing a full E3 preview show. I'm trying to secure Wheat for that show. I think he was here last year for our pre E3 show as well. And so we'll try to make that happen once again.
So drop frames normal time on the 5th. And then we're going to go into 7th, 8th. Is it 7th, 8th, and 9th for E3 coverage?
It is.
Do we have a schedule up on the drop frames thing yet?
Schedule's not out just yet because of a meeting I'm having tomorrow for the reasons that you know about, but they don't know about stuff that we were talking about. Anyways, the 9th and the 10th are when the conferences, and the 11th are when the conferences are happening.
I think it's 7th.
So on the 9th, the three of us plus Rami will be here for Microsoft. I believe that Ammunition and Shannon Zedkiller are going to be joining us for Bethesda that night. And then the 10th will be me and some other folk. I'm not exactly sure who we're going to get in there. Zeke will obviously be at E3 in LA. But he's going to be making an appearance on Drop Frames on Sunday. And then on the 10th, Co will be watching the streams on his channel, but joining us, I think, for the post shows.
Right when the show, basically probably a few minutes from the end of the show, I'll kick over to you guys and come in with you.
Yeah. And we'll all, the plan right now is after this meeting tomorrow, I'll know kind of a full scope of everything, and we'll be able to actually publish schedules and all that stuff, and we'll get that out at the beginning of next week so you guys know when and where and how to get any of the drop frame stuff. It'll also show up on YouTube as well, so if you miss anything live, you can catch it over there. But that's the plan as of right now. If you want any updates or want to see the schedule as soon as it goes live, you can follow the Drop Frames Twitter over at twitter.com/dropframes, and we'll get that information to you. But that's what's going on right now. Jericho will be joining us for some of that stuff as well as Admiral Baru. I'm just not 100% certain what conferences those are going to be joining us
and
for.
when.
Yeah. Anyways, let's take a break. A lot of news this week. So that's why we spent an hour and a half on it. But when we come back, we'll talk Neo 2. We'll talk Void Breakers. Is that?
Void Bastards.
Bastards. Okay. Void Bastards, Layers
and
of Fear.
Pathologic 2 and Layers of Fear. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week.
We have a lot of stuff for sure. So we'll be right back with more Drop Frames right after this. We'll see you guys then.